Are you ready to face your fears? Buckle up, because we're about to take you on a wild ride through the world of phobias. In the next 8 minutes, we'll test your nerves with 5 of the most common fears that make people's skin crawl. But don't worry, it's all in good fun. And who knows, you might even learn something about yourself along the way. Let's kick things off with megalophobia, the fear of large objects. Picture this. You're standing at the base of the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. Your neck cranes back as you try to take in its full height. It stretches impossibly high, seeming to pierce the very sky itself. The sheer scale of it makes you feel tiny, insignificant. Your heart starts to race, your palms get sweaty. If you're feeling a bit uneasy right now, you might have a touch of megalophobia. But wait, there's more. Imagine you're now squeezed into a narrow cave passage. The walls are pressing in on both sides, and the ceiling is so low you have to crawl. You can barely move your arms. The darkness is almost complete, save for the faint glow of your headlamp. Can you feel your breath quickening? That's claustrophobia talking, the fear of confined spaces. It's estimated that up to 5% of the population experiences severe claustrophobia. If you're finding it hard to breathe just thinking about this scenario, you might be one of them. Now, let's shift gears. You're sitting comfortably in your living room when you notice something small and dark scuttling across the floor. As you look closer, you see 8 hairy legs, multiple eyes, and sharp fangs. That's right, it's a spider, and it's heading straight for you. If you're fighting the urge to jump on the nearest piece of furniture right now, you might have arachnophobia, the fear of spiders. This is one of the most common phobias, affecting up to 6% of the global population. But what if I told you that the real terror isn't what you can see, but what you can't? Imagine a perfectly normal-looking piece of bread. Now picture it slowly developing tiny holes all over its surface. These holes start to multiply, covering the entire slice in a honeycomb-like pattern. If this image makes your skin crawl and your stomach churn, you might be experiencing trypophobia, the fear of irregular patterns or clusters of small holes or bumps. While not officially recognized as a phobia by some psychologists, many people report intense discomfort when confronted with such images. For our final test, let's dive into something a little deeper, literally. Imagine you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean. The water stretches as far as the eye can see in every direction. Now, lean over the edge and look down. The water is so clear you can see for what seems like miles, but you can't make out the bottom. It's just an endless, dark blue abyss. If you're feeling a sense of dread or panic, you might have a fear of deep water, also known as Thalassophobia. Now you might be wondering, why do we have these fears in the first place? Well, phobias are more than just being scared of something. They're intense, irrational fears that can significantly impact a person's life. But here's the interesting part. Many phobias may have evolutionary roots. Fear of heights, confined spaces, or dangerous animals like spiders could have helped our ancestors survive. Even trypophobia might be linked to an instinctive aversion to patterns associated with disease or danger. But if phobias are so common and potentially rooted in our evolution, why doesn't everyone have them? The truth is, the development of phobias is complex, involving a mix of genetic predisposition, life experiences, and learned behaviors. Some people might develop a phobia after a traumatic event, while others might learn it from observing others' reactions. The good news is, phobias are treatable. Cognitive behavioral therapy, exposure therapy, and sometimes medication can help people manage their fears. In exposure therapy, individuals are gradually exposed to the object of their fear in a controlled, safe environment. Over time, this can help reduce the intensity of the phobic response. But what if you don't have a full-blown phobia, just a mild fear or discomfort? That's completely normal. Many people have fears that don't quite reach the level of a phobia. The key is understanding your limits and challenging yourself in safe, controlled ways. So, how did you do with our phobia tests? Did you find yourself relating to any of these scenarios? Remember, having a fear doesn't define you. It's just one part of the complex, fascinating machine that is the human mind. And who knows? Maybe learning about these phobias has given you a new appreciation for the incredible diversity of human experiences. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap. We've explored megalophobia, fear of large objects, claustrophobia, fear of confined spaces, arachnophobia, fear of spiders, trypophobia, fear of irregular patterns or holes, and thalassophobia, fear of deep water. Each of these phobias affects millions of people worldwide, and each has its own unique characteristics and challenges. Whether you sailed through our tests without breaking a sweat or found yourself squirming in your seat, we hope this journey through the world of phobias has been both entertaining and enlightening. After all, understanding our fears is the first step to facing them. So the next time you encounter something that makes you nervous, remember, you're not alone, and there's always room for growth and change. And who knows, maybe next time you're faced with a giant building, a tight space, a spider, a weird pattern, or a deep body of water, you'll think back to this video and challenge yourself to face your fear head-on. After all, life's too short to let phobias hold you back from amazing experiences. So go out there, be brave, and remember, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. And maybe spiders. Definitely spiders.